I'm Cassidy, one of your Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders, and you're watching the Bleav in Colts podcast.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen, back with you with another Bleav in Colts episode, and today I have a special guest, a guy who, dude, I'm just happy you're even on here because I came on your show a few months back.
It's been a while.
Had a great time. Yeah. Ran into your dad at Walmart the other day, and I was like, got my wheels spinning. I was like, I gotta get him on the show, man.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your own personal show, and where they can find you.
Name's Carl Holliday at Barles Barkley on Twitter. My nickname's Barl, so I put the word play on Charles Barkley. I'm a co-host of the Bleav Sports Culture Show. It's a sports / culture music show. Kind of a lull in sports right now, unless you're a baseball fan. So we've been more on the music side. About to turn up football. About that time.
All right.
Yep. Bleav Sports Culture Show on YouTube.
Awesome. Well, speaking of sports, if you're interested in betting, which there's a lot of people out there, BetOnline is still your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for all baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. So today we're going to discuss a little something as training camp starts to roll in at the end of next week, man. That's exciting. There's so many people ready to get. I hear that you're going to be heading up there as well, right?
Well, my dad and them are heading up there. I have a baby coming August 1st. So as much as I'd love to go out to Westfield and get torched by the sun, I won't be able to make it this year. Season ticket holder, though, so I'll be at every game.
Absolutely. All right. Well, baby trumps football. I'm just going to let you know that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You get a sliding pass on that one.
Yeah, she'll be born with a Colts jersey, though. So
there you go. Well, with training camp coming up, there is big questions out there about the team. There's a lot of different questions about, youth, the quarterback, the offensive line play, so much stuff. So my whole thing is on this show, we're going to discuss the position group that we individually believe has the most weight on their shoulders to perform well this upcoming 2023 NFL season.
We might have the same one. We might have the same one. I was talking to you earlier, but the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, wait a second. So it's like dominoes. So we might have the same one.
I already told you which one mine was. And I'll tell you what, we could talk a little bit about the pressure of other position groups as well while we're here, if we do have the same one, that's fine. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to know, what position group do you feel like has the most pressure on their shoulders this offseason, this season?
So the Colts have about 10 elephants in the room. Right. There's about 10 elephants in the room with this team. Obviously, elephant number one,
You're not making fun of the line players, right?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Bigger the better. I'm bigger. We traded away Stephon Gilmore. I'm fine with that. Unfortunately, we lost our then number one corner. So the question is, which group has more pressure? The biggest holes, I think, are on the defensive backs and the cornerbacks. But the biggest pressure to make up for that, I think, would be the pass rush and the defensive line. Okay. I think they have a lot of pressure to get after the quarterback, because the more time that quarterback has to throw the ball, we've seen what happened in Baltimore last year.
Mm-hmm.
Would Lamar throw for 480, 500? I think we have a lot of talent on the defensive front. I think they can ball out this year, especially with the young guys, Quiddy, if he can stay healthy, and Dio. I think we can ball out, but I think that's where the most pressure is going to be.
Well, I'm going to kind of back up your statement just a little bit to build on that a little. Absolutely 100%, because I feel like, the defensive back field right now is kind of playing with house money because they are young. They're not expected to play really outstanding. Now, if they end up finishing 32nd in the NFL, then there might be some raised eyebrows, but they don't. I don't think that there's a lot of pressure there's 3 rookies, drafted rookies there, at the cornerbacks alone. So I feel like they're playing with house money, and you're right. It is on that defensive front to get pressure and sacks. And we all know Gus Bradley, much like Matt Eberflus, does not blitz a lot at all, right? And he tries to get pressure with the front 4. Now, last year, the Colts, they were top 10 in the NFL in sacks, right? Quietly. They were, I think, 3rd in the NFL walking into, I think, week 13 or something like that, right? And then fell off. But really, it really depends, and you're right, with the defensive ends. We know what we got with Grover. We know what we got with Defoe.
Absolutely.
We do not have yet found somebody to step up into that number 1 10-plus sack guy role. And we need some of these young guys to do so, right? With Dial, Dangbo, and all them. We
think Yannick was going to be it last year. He just didn't pan it. Quiddy's injury ridden, and Dio's just, I think he's just like going through the motions up and down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we get Tyquan back this year, correct?
Yes. We did sign Tyquan for a 1 year. But again, he's got to stay healthy. He can't have another blown knee,
dude,
halfway through the season.
I feel so bad for that kid, dude. We were at the Tennessee game when he blew his knee out a couple of years back. Man, I felt so bad for him. I'm glad they're giving him another shot.
Me too. When he's on the field, he seems to produce. It's just getting him on the field and keeping him there. That's the biggest problem. To me, I have a different position group. I have the offensive line. Look, the offense is going to run right through that offensive line, literally and, figuratively, with the fact that no matter who's at quarterback, no matter who is at quarterback, it's Jonathan Taylor and the running back group that's going to end up kind of setting the tone for this offense. And the offensive line has to open up holes for that group, period.
Okay.
And last year, first 8, 9, 10 games, they weren't doing very good job of it at all.
So many variables. Many variables. God.
And then the second part of that, obviously, is pass protection. And if you got a rookie quarterback that has 13 career starts in college, and that's it, starting at quarterback, what do you think he's going to go through when you had a 17-year vet last year who
seeing ghosts?
Oh my goodness. And you've seen how that affected the passing game, last year with the offensive line play that he had. You can only imagine the terror that would be going through Anthony Richardson if he's out there starting, and he has to deal with the same kind of protection. So to me, that offensive line has got all the pressure in the world, because it's not like Chris Ballard went out there and was like, oh, we got to get this fixed now. We're going to go and spend a number, second round pick on an offensive lineman and then go in the free agency and grab a $15 million. No, he didn't do none of that crap, right?
Yeah, didn't do it last year either.
No.
Right.
After the year we had last year, Chris Ballard still kind of, to me, it felt like he sat on his laurels, right? When it came to the offensive line.
I will say this. Okay. I have a bold prediction about a particular part on our offensive line. I think Bernhard Raimann elevates this year. Maybe not Pro Bowl level, but borderline. I think he elevates. I've seen a lot of promise in him last year.
Yeah, I feel like after Jeff Saturday became the interim head coach and was like, these are the 5 guys we're putting out there. They're going to stay there. There's no more Russian roulette at the offensive line. It felt like the longer Raimann stayed out there, the better and better he got. So I'm with you on that. I have a feeling that Raimann this year is going to come out at least as good as he was when he finished the season last year, if not slightly better from the practice. But my guy, that right guard position is scary right now.
Who is our right guard right now?
Will
Is it
Fries.
Yeah, it's Fries.
Yeah, and
up and down. He's still 25 though. He's 25, but
yeah,
still...
but the problem with Will Fries is he. Okay, one thing that he can improve on easily, in my opinion, is recognizing blitz schemes, delayed blitzes, twists, stunts, things of that nature. That's just comes with experience and going over it, over and over and over, seeing that stuff on the field.
I mean, he's got the size, man. He's 6'6", 305.
Yes, but yet he gets bowled over.
God, dude. Yeah.
I mean, you get a power rush from a big defensive tackle, and he is on his butt half the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not understanding it.
Yeah.
So
another thing is, like, with this offensive line this year, I mean, the core we've had has been Braden, Ryan and Quentin. They've only got to play with a mobile quarterback 1 year. I mean, if you count, unless you count Jacoby, it's a completely different ball game when not only do you have to pass protect, but you have to make sure you're not grabbing them jerseys when your quarterback gets out of the pocket. So that's another lesson that especially these young guys, got to learn. Like, that's going to be a big learning curve.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot right there. I think, really, in my opinion, you just have to stick with your basics. Here's something that is something we're not used to seeing, and we're going to probably see quite a bit of it in training camp during team activities. Dude, Gus Bradley has to send blitzes just so that this offensive line can practice against.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you don't use the blitzes during games, you got to show it to your offensive line. And I think that's another reason why the offensive line had a lot of heartache and problems early in the season, because Gus wasn't sending blitzes at practice for them to practice against.
Just patting him on the butt like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think even Quentin said at one point he thought they were losing their physicality. Like, we're talking about one of the dudes that would just put people in the dirt, and he felt like he wasn't playing physical anymore. Like, something did change. Like, I think me and you talked about it, like, when you came on before, like when the offensive line kind of changed a little bit.
Yes.
Like, they felt like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like Saturday made them feel accountable for every single thing, and not just themselves, like the guy next to them, like they were making the guy next to him accountable, right? And that's the big thing, because the offensive line is only as good as its weakest link, right? So you could be playing well, the buddy on your left could be playing well, but the guy on your right's playing like crap. That is going to affect how you play, and the guy on his right.
Quentin's the biggest example of that. Quentin's the biggest example. I mean, where Braden, can we say Quentin regressed a little bit when he has to guard two people? Like, I mean,
right?
There's no doubt that Ryan and Braden regressed, but Quentin, he's literally this.
Well, here's something about Ryan, and I'm not sure Ryan regressed as much as a lot of people believe, because he's sitting there with the right guard that's having issues all season long, right? No matter who was at right guard, whether it was Fries, whether it was Pinter.
Was it Pryor at right guard at one point?
Yeah.
Like, I think there was like a carousel. I think there was one game, I think it was prime time, where they shuffled the entire offensive line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And at some point, you have to pick a guy to block, right? And if your guy is the blitzer coming right at you, but the guy that the right guard is supposed to be handling gets right by the right guard, no problem. You got to take care of that dude,
Yeah.
And then that means your guy is free running.
And that's if the defensive line's not doing stunts or bringing in an extra one, then you have a whole other variable to deal with.
Exactly.
Melting their brains.
So the thing about Ryan is, I feel like if you put what is supposed to be in front of him and just let him take care of his own, I think he's a top-notch center in the NFL. But if you're trying to put so much on his plate, huh?
I said he definitely was at one point for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, when it comes to run blocking, I think he's fantastic because of his ability to hand a guy off a double team and get to the second level. That's one of the reasons why in 2021, Jonathan Taylor busted over 1,800 yards rushing, had over 20 touchdowns on the season, right? Is because of Kelly's ability to get to the second level and create that seal block at the second level and allow Taylor, the extra 2, 3, 4 yards of running room before he's even touched.
MVP Jonathan Taylor. I just seen that video that you posted about the New England one. Oh,
yeah.
God, dude.
But so to me, it's funny. I think it's really funny that between the two of us, our two biggest position groups that have the most weight on their shoulders entering this season is the two position groups that both the head coach and the GM say is the most important on the team, and that's in the trenches on the offensive and defensive line.
Chris Ballard preached that, man. When we first hired him a while back, God, he just preached the games are one of the trenches, and he started to build it. But I don't know. I think the quarterback thing really it's a broken record, man. It's a broken record for Colts fans. It just set us back so far, especially with the GM who is known for drafting in the trenches, and we're putting so much pressure on him to draft a quarterback. He's like, okay, I'm just going to draft a quarterback now. Like, I mean, I hope it pans out for my sanity. I hope it pans out for my sanity.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to say that the most of the pressure is going to be on the quarterback position this year.
Nah.
I feel like the quarterback position, no matter who's out there, whether it's Gardner Minshew or whether it's Anthony Richardson, I feel like they're playing a little bit with house money this year.
For sure.
Because, it's first time in a Colts uniform, one of them first time ever being in the NFL. You got a whole new offensive system, offensive playbook, other than Gardner Minshew, but everybody else around Gardner is, dealing with that, new system that they're having to build. So
new offensive coordinator.
Yeah. We got Jim Bob over there. The only thing I think that we've kept on the offense is Reggie Wayne.
Reggie, right. Yep.
Right. So, and I feel like Reggie feels like he has a lot of weight on his shoulders because of the youth of the wide receiving group. Right.
That and Reggie hates to lose, man. He's tired of stinking. Like especially when he has his name attached to something, you can hear it in his interviews. Like he's just like, I want to win. Like he wants to win, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, we all remember the Green Bay game where he's like, we're not going to lose this game. I'm going to single-handedly win this game for Chuck Pagano.
But he got for 200, 180, 200.
He had like 230 yards receiving or some crap like it. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It was unbelievable game from Reggie. Just to will the Colts to win in that game. Now, I wish that he could will the Colts to win every game, while he's a coach, but that's a little bit different.
Only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Our wide receiver room looks good.
Yell at somebody so much.
Our wide receiver room looks good. I ain't hating on him. I mean, there's a lot of promise there.
Oh, Josh Downs? Yeah. I know Reggie said that he thought he was the best receiver at camp. At the combine. Wow.
From what I've seen, the kids, I mean, he's got it. It's just, there's a lot of targets there. I mean, especially with our tight end room. Like, our tight end room is big. Oh, we have a big tight end room.
We got a great tight end. I feel like we have a deep tight end. I'm not saying that the top end talent is as good as like a Travis Kelce or
right. It's very
but
balanced.
I'm saying they're a good group, and there's not much drop off between number 1 and number 5, right? There's that many good tight ends we have in that group. And they got little weight on their shoulders too, right? Because not only do they have to effectively pass, but after the amount of scrutiny they were under from run blocking and pass blocking last year, it's really on them right now to improve that significantly during the offseason.
How do you feel they did last year in the run blocking and pass blocking categories?
I feel like, okay, I have said this multiple times when I went through the all 22. Kylen Granson was the best blocker overall of the whole team.
Which is so surprising. Smallest
right?
Smallest guy.
Right? He's like, you got Mo Alley Cox, who was
Giant.
literally his nickname was Mo Alley Blocks the year before, right? And then, you got this 6'12", 350-pound former quarterback playing tight end out there. But let's face it, he's still learning to run routes and catch the ball and learn offenses.
Talking about Jelani?
Block. Yeah.
Talking about Jelani?
Yeah.
He's going to be great. But
Kylen was in his second year. Kylen told me last year during the offseason last year that the number one thing he was working on was improving his blocking skills. And he did so.
It's so weird saying this. He might be one of the best yak receiving tight ends in the league.
He's amazing. He's
like
really
yards
good.
After catch.
He was number 3 in the NFL in the tight end at yards per separation per route.
I believe it.
He was, and Paris Campbell was number 5 in wide receivers in yards per separation. Shame we couldn't keep Campbell.
He's going to do great. He's going to do very well in New York.
He'll
do very well in New York.
I feel like he's got the opportunity to be the
guy.
The guy. Yeah,
he does.
I mean, who Darius Slayton? I mean,
he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think that's going to do it for this episode of Bleav in Colts. Carl, I really appreciate you joining me today. One more time, let people know where they can find you.
Bleav Sports Culture on YouTube or Facebook. Talk about all kinds of stuff. Football is about to be very heavy.
Absolutely. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen with Carl Holliday. Bleav in Colts. We believe in all sports, but right now, this is a Colts show, darn it.
Absolutely.
It's brought to you by Bet Online. And as usual, go Colts. And
do you believe?